Welcome back everyone. Today we'll be looking at the top 10 most unusual, unique and extraordinary destinations you can visit on a cruise right now. Starting off in number 10, we have the Corinth Canal in Greece. The 4-mile-long canal connects the Ionian and Aegean seas, and at its narrowest it's only 70 feet or 21 meters wide. Smaller cruise ships regularly pass through the canal, giving passengers incredible but also somewhat scary once-in-a-lifetime views. In 2019, Fred Olsen's 642 feet long Bremer became the largest cruise ship to ever sail through the canal, making use of every inch of width available. Next up, in number 9, we have the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. The Galapagos Archipelago is one of the most remote sets of islands in the world, at over 605 miles or 900 kilometers away from the nearest landmass. Having been isolated from the rest of the world for several millennia, the islands feature unique species and animals that have gone extinct everywhere else except here in the Galapagos, including swimming marine iguanas, Galapagos giant tortoises, the Galapagos penguins, and more. A cruise to the Galapagos means stepping back in history to a unique ecosystem found nowhere else in the world, and several big-name cruise lines, including Celebrity Cruises, Silversea, and National Geographic, are sending their expedition ships there year-round. The Galapagos Islands are certainly one of the most exciting places any of us would be fortunate to visit. Next up, in number 8, we have an internationally disputed territory, the Western Sahara. The Western Sahara is currently occupied and administered by Morocco, although the sovereignty over the region isn't recognized by the wider international community. The country, which is mainly surrounded by the desert, has been on the UN-sanctioned ceasefire since the end of the war in 1991, but since then no agreement has been made about the country's independence. Silversea Cruises is the only cruise line that stops there on a regular basis through repositioning or world cruises, giving passengers the unique opportunity to literally step foot into an international territorial dispute. Quite an invigorating thought. Next up, we have another set of remote locations, Antarctica and the Arctic. And even though both locations are literally poles apart, you can expect similar experiences in both. Whether you visit Antarctica to tick off your last remaining continent, or the Arctic to encounter polar bears in the wild, your cruise will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, bringing you to some of the least visited and least explored parts of the world. The expedition will be full of adventure, including kayaking and hiking in a truly untouched natural wonder. The two main reasons for visiting Antarctica or the Arctic, however, will be the stunning wildlife and scenery. Even if you've seen icebergs before, you will stun at the Great White Continent's massive floating structures. And by that I don't even mean your ship, but the dozens of icebergs around it. Additionally, you'll experience penguins, polar bears, or even whales and seals in their true natural habitat. Given the uninhabited nature of both destinations, wildlife and especially penguins have no fear of humans at all, but rather tend to be curious of the cruising passengers. Moving from the extreme cold to the extreme heat, we have South Africa next. While cruising through the Cape of Good Hope, you'll have the unique opportunity to visit a South African national park on a real safari. You'll feel right in a National Geographic documentary and might even be overwhelmed by the amount of wildlife around you. A safari allows you to get up close and personal with animals in their true native habitat. Coming from your regular cruising experience, it will be a complete change in scenery or even a true culture shock. Taking in the marvelous nature might even make you forget about the daily grind of back home and give you a well-deserved relaxing break. Next up, we have Lebanon, a small country with a stunning history and true Mediterranean charm that was previously even known as the Paris of the Middle East. But recently, the country has been through a tough time, from the civil war in the neighboring Syria to a financial crisis and civil unrest to the Beirut port explosion in 2020. The port explosion specifically has severely damaged the capital's infrastructure and has even led to the capsizing of a smaller cruise ship called the Orient Queen that was docked there at the time. Although most larger cruise lines are now avoiding the country due to the inherent instability, smaller cruise operators still give passengers the opportunity to visit the historic country and its resilient people. Next up, in number 3, we have Norway. Norway itself is a beautiful country with stunning sceneries and coastlines, but another major draw to the region are the Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis, a natural light display in the sky. Between September and March in northern Norway, which is close to the North Pole, the sun remains hidden from the Arctic sky for much of the day. When electrically charged particles from the sun then enter the Earth's atmosphere and collide, you will see the stunning natural phenomenon called the Northern Lights, often described as a celestial ballet of light dancing across the night sky. You will see beautiful green, blue, pink or violet hues all across the sky, a truly magical sight and extremely unique cruising experience. Moving on to second place, we have the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is among the most famous waterways in the world, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, and it's often regarded as one of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever undertaken. And when cruising the 51-mile or 82-kilometer long artificial waterway, you will be stunned by the lush scenery around. As you will be traveling through a protected rainforest, you will get the chance to spot anything from monkeys to crocodiles to manatees in the wild. Along the way, you'll also likely stop in the Central American ports of Limón, Costa Rica, and Cartagena, Colombia. Vibrant and historic cities you will likely never visit any way other than a Panama Canal cruise. If you're interested in cruising the canal, you should book early, as the coast-to-coast cruises starting on the East Coast in Florida and ending on the West Coast in California often only occur on cruise ship repositioning trips between seasons. And now, in number 1, one of the most exciting and extraordinary destinations to visit on a cruise right now, Egypt. Egypt is one of those countries that will fill you with amazement. It isn't just the country of one of the first and most influential civilizations in the world, or the nation with a last remaining world wonder, but it's also the country of true natural beauty. Egypt is situated at the intersection of the Mediterranean and Red Sea, both of which are connected by the Suez Canal, the most heavily used man-made waterway in the world. While you can sail through the canal on large cruise ships, you can also explore the country on a Nile River cruise. The Nile is the longest river in the world and the birthplace of the ancient Egyptians, with many intact temples on its shores. From diving in the Red Sea to exploring Cairo's bustling streets, to marveling at millennia-old world wonders, Egypt has something for everyone. There you have it, some of the most unusual and extraordinary cruising destinations in the world. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing for more weekly cruising content, or check out some of our other videos linked below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep cruising.